Hey guys, so today we have an interview with NPC bodybuilder Kevin Brown. It's a little bit of a different interview today, less research based and more just getting inside the life of a competitive bodybuilder and seeing how his journey has gone. So I hope you enjoy. All right, everybody. So we have Kevin Brown with us today. Kevin Brown is an NPC competitor who has qualified to go to nationals, and you've won your first two shows, correct?
Yep. Yes.
Okay. And what weights did you compete at there?
My first show was I think between 193, 195.
Okay.
My first show. The second was like 2 or 3 pounds heavier.
Okay. So, and you got into this how old? Because I know, so everybody who doesn't know, I knew Kevin back in college. We weren't like close or anything, but I would see you at the gym. You were kind of the big guy that everybody
Yeah.
wanted to be like. I think we would just see you repping out like 315 on bench, like it was nothing, and we're just all jealous. So, how old were you when you got started with this?
Well, working out 14, freshman year in high school.
Okay, all right.
But it was for sports related. For football and indoor and outdoor track. Was my main purpose, especially for me too, because I like working out.
And you were playing football through college, right?
Yeah. I played 2 years for TCNJ, 3 years in high school, and 2 years Little League.
Okay, cool. And you just recently got married, is that right?
Yep.
Congrats, man. That's awesome.
For a week now.
Okay, very cool.
Thank you.
So, and I'll be releasing this probably in a few weeks, but this is the Olympia weekend, so obviously we've got to talk about that.
Yeah.
A lot of, I guess, upsets and unexpected things happen. So, for anybody who follows physique, Jeremy Buendia didn't even make top three, probably because of tearing his pec.
Yeah.
212, Flex Lewis's last competition in 212, and he won that pretty handily, I think. But in the Open, pretty big upset there. I don't think anybody was really looking at Sean Roden at all after last year. Was he in fifth last year?
Yeah, I think he took fourth or fifth. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he just killed it this year. That was impressive.
Yeah, he deserved that, man.
Yeah, well, I think he looks a lot like what people really want a bodybuilder and what Mr. Olympia looked like. It's kind of back to that older school, tiny waist, that aesthetic look. So
that's how it should be, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've kind of got that look going yourself. I'm going to throw up some of your pictures here throughout the interview, but I mean, you've got a very tiny waist, broad shoulders, and everything. Do you think a lot of that is just kind of your natural structure, or were there things you've done in your training to kind of develop that?
I noticed this is my structure naturally, and I've been seeing that through the years. People, especially before I started bodybuilding, people noticed my structure, and I didn't really notice it until I started bodybuilding. I started growing, and stuff was developing more than my peers. When I was doing the same lifts and same workouts. I just developed more.
Yeah, I'm glad you say that because I think, you occasionally get some people who they almost don't want to acknowledge that the genetics are a big component there, and they just think it's just because of their hard work. And nobody's saying those people aren't working hard, but it's nice and refreshing to hear you say, there's obviously that genetic component where even though you were doing the same things your friends were doing, you were blowing past them, and you just kind of had that structure there. And I think you need both. You need that hard work, but you also have that genetic structure that some people just can never have. So I think it's a good perspective to have.
Yeah, that's one thing that pursued me to do bodybuilding. Is when I saw my structure compared, I was like, okay, I can really do this.
Yeah, something you can excel in. So, what bodybuilders do you kind of look up to for inspiration?
Number one probably Lee Haney because that old school look.
Yeah,
I like Lee Haney. Flex is one of my idols also. Flextron. Phil Heath, early Phil Heath though.
Yeah, like 2011 or so.
Yeah, 11 to I think when he was battling with Kai, he looked good. And I think after Kai, he just started getting too blocky.
Yeah,
he was losing that aesthetics that I really idolized.
Yeah, and I bet Kai is probably kicking himself for not doing this Olympia. I feel like this was kind of his chance, and he had like the people's champ, and Phil was a little off. Yeah, that's a shame that he didn't do it. He probably would have taken everything.
Yeah, I know he's probably upset.
Yeah. So, you mentioned a lot of it is your genetics, but what is your training like? I mean, have you stuck with the same thing over the years, or do you mix it up? How's your training?
I've been mixing it up lately, trying to surprise my body. Usually, right now I'm trying to focus on legs. I do legs twice a week now.
Okay.
That worked out with me. It worked out good for me in 2014, 14 and 15. Had great results doing like twice a week.
Okay.
So I'm going back to that.
So what's like throughout the week? What's it look like?
It's usually quads Monday, focus
Okay.
on quads, about 4 exercises and like 1 or 2 for hamstrings. Tuesday is chest, Wednesday is back. Chest and back, I throw in a little bit of arms or shoulders. So
Okay.
back there, I probably throw in a little buys, rear delts. Chest, I probably throw in some front delt work, maybe 1 military press exercise, and some triceps. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, then Thursday is hamstrings. I probably do 1 or 2 exercises for the quads. Friday is like a free day, which is probably like
Okay.
arms or something.
Just kind of what you feel like doing that day.
Yeah, and Saturdays, either Saturday or Sunday, I do back.
Okay.
I train back again, which is a lot of light work for the pump.
Cool. So that's actually another question I had for you is, I remember you lifting crazy heavy, and it seems like looking at like your Instagram and everything, you still lift very heavy. So do you try to get in both the super heavy lifting and the pump work, or do you kind of focus on more one of those?
I do both. I like the reps. I like to do 20, 30 reps
Okay.
per set sometimes. So the first 2 exercises, the complex compound movements, I like to go heavy. And
Mm-hmm.
after that is mostly machine work after that for reps.
Gotcha. Okay.
But
So
I
kind of like
noticed,
standard progression there.
yeah, I noticed I gotta warm up more now.
Yeah.
Try to lift heavy and wear
Yeah.
wraps and straps
Right.
and all that.
How old are you now?
29.
29. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I was actually just saying that today. I was curling, probably half the weight that I used to do. And I mean, for higher reps, obviously, but my elbows are starting to hurt. I'm thinking like, damn, man, I'm only 27. Like, what's happening?
Yeah, we're getting old, man.
Yeah. I don't know what's happening.
I don't know, but some people got good genetics for joint wise for like
Right.
lifting heavy. Some people
Yeah.
can lift heavy and don't wear wrist straps or elbow bands or knee wraps or anything.
Yeah. Yeah. That's actually, I mean, that right there, we're talking about genetics. That's a huge component too, is how much abuse can your body take over the years? I mean, some
Yeah,
people, they might put on muscle easily, but they get injured every time they go heavy. And so it just doesn't work out for them.
exactly. Not one of them. I can't go heavy consistently, like the whole workout. I can't go heavy
Yeah.
because it'll set me back.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah, I
saw
tried
you
it
repping
once.
out, what were you doing, like 180-pound dumbbells, 170-pound dumbbells? Is that right? Something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was feeling good that
Yeah. I would say
day.
so. That's pretty heavy, man. Now, is this all your own doing, or do you have a trainer that you work with or anybody you work with for this stuff?
No, that's just me. Just me.
Really? Okay.
Training wise, I'm good, and nutrition wise, I'm up to par. My first 2 shows I pretty much did by myself.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
my last couple, my first national show, I had a coach,
Okay.
and he dialed me in good.
Okay. And then you just kind of follow those principles a second time?
Yeah. hmm
Wow.
Yeah,
Man,
I
good
know
for
it's
you.
simple for me. I'm carb sensitive, so I know I got a carb cycle.
Yeah.
So I do 5 low days and 2 carb days.
And you, I mean, at least if I recall, I mean, you're walking around pretty lean most of the year, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, how far away from contest condition are you most of the time?
I try to stay between 15 to 20 pounds.
Okay. So, and you're right now in the mid 230s, right? So you're thinking your next competition maybe 210, 215?
Um, I'm trying to do classic again, and there's a weight restriction.
Oh, that's right.
197
Okay.
for my height is a weight restriction, so I have to stay. I can't really have an off season.
Oh, true. Okay.
Yeah, so
So is your next show going to be to try to go pro
yeah, definitely. Next year in
next year? Okay.
April or May, I think is the next national, the first one of the year. I'm gonna attempt that. I think I have a good chance. Last year,
Yeah.
I had a good chance, but I spilled over.
Okay.
I like carved up too much and drank too much water.
Yeah.
I spilled over, and my first one was my first one in 2017 in Miami. I got 8 out of 33,
Okay.
and I believe I just got overlooked.
Yeah. So what's your protocol for that last week? Are you doing anything fancy there, or are you just trying to, bring up the carbs a little bit at the final days? What are you really doing there?
For me, I noticed I just got to do what I've been doing the whole. I can't. Once I start doing changing stuff up, that's when my body like changed for the worse.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I gotta keep it simple. I noticed me drinking water is fine. I love a good 2-3 weeks out drinking a gallon of water.
So no cutting water.
Yeah. So when I start messing with my water, my sodium, I kind of mess things up sometimes.
Yeah. That is what I hear. Simple. I hear a lot of people say that now is, once you start trying to, mess with sodium and water loading, all these different things, you look great 2 weeks out, and then you come to the show and, everything looks soft because you just mess with too many things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. So that'll be about a year from now. And as far as, your nutrition, how many calories roughly are you eating now compared to contest? I imagine you're eating quite a bit.
Right now I haven't been keeping track, but I'm probably definitely over 2,000. I've been just eating regular right now, like 3 meals a day.
Okay.
Just eat when I'm hungry, basically. And just the main thing is just the post workout.
Okay.
It's my main concern. Like after my workout today, I had Domino's leftovers from last night.
There you go.
Yeah.
So when you're, well, I was gonna say when you're dieting, is it to are you just starving all the time, or with your metabolism, are you still able to eat quite a bit?
For me, I have to be in a starving state. If I feel full, that means I'm not really. My body doesn't change.
Okay.
I have to I have to be real low for my body to real.
Really? Okay, that kind of surprises me. I just assumed that you'd be eating a lot. I see some people who are just naturally lean. They're still going into contests eating 3,000 plus calories. But
yeah, I wish. Yeah, I have to. No, when I suffer, when my mental state changes, when I get my attitudes and stuff, that's when I look the best.
Okay.
And I can't really have those free feed days or cheat days.
Oh, really? So you don't do anything like that?
Yeah, I do, but I gotta keep it simple and keep it clean.
Okay. No more Domino's then?
Yeah, no more Domino's. Not until the night before.
Okay, kind of fill out a little bit.
Yeah, I did 2 shows loading up with Domino's the night before, and it worked out for me.
And today's video is sponsored by Domino's.
Yeah. Yeah, I got the boxes over here, actually.
Oh, man, perfect product placement right there. So are you doing a lot of cardio during this time, or are you,
Yeah. Because I feel my body, because I haven't had a good off season in, I think, 2 or 3 years. And I feel my body, it wants to grow. It really wants to grow. So I have to do cardio so I can stay lean, so I can make that weight for 197.
Okay. So you're actively avoiding growing too much at this point.
Yeah.
And that's a nice problem to have.
I don't want to suffer. I want to suffer to make weight. I did that 2 times already.
Right. Okay. Now, are you going to stand or stay in classic long term, you think, or are you eventually going to try to go up to just a regular bodybuilding?
Yeah. Flexitron made it he opened the doors up. So
yeah.
I think I want to go back into open.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe get your pro card in classic first.
With my frame, I can't stay in classic too long.
Yeah.
Especially with that weight restriction.
Right. And how tall are you?
I'm about 5'9".
5'9". Okay. And you said it's 197 is the limit there?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, I imagine most of it is coming from your food and everything, but supplement-wise, do you do much with supplements, or you just kind of stick with the foods?
Recently, I've just been sticking with the foods, but I know back in the day, back in TC&J, I've been a lot of supplements. Right now, just too expensive now. I was big into the amino acids, like everything from pre, post, intra. The little amino acids that a lot of people don't use. I was big into that.
Okay, so not just like the branched chain amino acids or anything, like other ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was it? The taurine. It was a citrulline. All the little precursor stuff I used to take all the time.
Okay.
Make my own little cocktails, like my pre-workout and post-workout stuff.
Yeah. Not so much now, though.
Yeah, not too much now because everything's getting expensive. I'm on my own now.
Right.
I pay rent, car note, and all that stuff.
Sure.
But when I was in TC&J, man, I remember my dorm room used to be my apartment. I had lines and lines and lines of stuff lined up,
Really?
amino acids and every vitamin and mineral you could think of I had.
Yeah. Yeah, I think at this point, I pretty much the same thing. I just kind of stick with the basics. I never really noticed anything personally from creatine. So most of the things I take now are just kind of like health supplements, fish oil, and things like
Yeah,
that. But yeah, I don't do too much with all the different, I guess, bodybuilding supplements. I either found that they didn't work that much for me, or they were just very expensive. So
yeah, and then that's what I have too: the fish oil, multivitamin, um, vitamin C,
hmm
um, average stuff, biotin, the health supplement stuff that you really need.
right, right. So, you've been doing this since you were 14, so you're talking about 15 years now. Are
Yeah.
there any significant regrets you have in this, or things that if you could go back, you would do it significantly differently?
Um, Maybe change up my routine. I had one routine that my mentor showed me. Who got me into working out for like
Okay.
football and stuff like that. I did that routine for I don't know 6 years straight.
Oh, same thing.
Yeah, I did the same exact routine
Wow.
for a long time, and I wish I would have got out that phase and like changed up my workouts. Because
hmm
once I got into bodybuilding, that's when I changed my workouts. So my
Okay.
body changed real fast.
Yeah. So you notice a pretty positive response to continuously changing things then?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. How often are you
Especially,
doing that then?
huh?
How often are you doing that, like a complete overhaul to your routine? Or are you just making small changes here and there?
Right now, just small changes. I try to have a good foundation. I usually try to pick out. I usually critique my past contest pictures,
Okay.
and whatever lacking body part, I just blast it for the year.
Yeah. I guess that's
And
what you're doing
work
with legs,
around that
right?
one. Yeah,
Okay.
like I had my one competition, I won, but I noticed I didn't have any hamstrings.
Okay.
So my next competition, I focused on the hamstrings, and I had the hamstring. The hamstrings were very round and popping, but I noticed I didn't have any definition
Okay.
in the hamstring. So that's what I focused on. My third one is working on contraction and the separation in the hamstrings. Then I
So what's
noticed
your, go
my
ahead.
chest. Oh, my chest was over dominant in my couple of last shows. So now I'm trying to focus on my shoulders and arms to match my chest. And also my back detail. I have a thick back, but I need to bring out some detail and more
Yeah.
lines in those back
Plus,
plates.
kind of a cool thing I think with bodybuilding is, it's like you're sculpting, right? And so it's like, okay,
Yeah,
well, got a little bit here. Now this is unbalanced, so we got to fix a little bit over here. It makes it fun to kind of add here and there and
yeah.
see what you can.
And I noticed it really works when you really focus on it.
hmm
I've seen big changes when I really like hone in on my weak points.
Do you
But
have
yeah,
a
you
body
gotta
part
critique
that you like to
yourself.
train more?
Um, I think my back. I like training
Yeah.
back.
What's your
Back.
go-to for there? I know you do a lot of, like at least a decent amount of heavy deadlifting.
Yeah, I just started doing deadlifts. My training partner started. I wasn't big into deadlifts.
Really? Okay.
I still don't like them. I see you can easily get hurt.
Yeah.
I really be trying to work my way around not doing deadlifts because of risk of injury. Plus, sometimes I get lazy trying to load up all those plates.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Yeah, that can become a pain in the ass after a while.
yeah. And I noticed, like I said before, when I lift heavy, I tend to get hurt because my joints is not all that there. I think I need to work on, I guess taking more joint supplements,
hmm
collagen, I think, and more. Well, I don't know. They say glucosamine doesn't really work that much. I think I
Yeah,
take it for a long
it seems like
period
the
of
evidence
time.
there is pretty sparse. I would look into, I mean, you're already taking the fish oil. I would look into curcumin and Boswellia serrata. Both of those
Yeah.
have some studies I could send you on joint health. So those seem to
Okay.
be pretty helpful for people. So for everybody who's like, watching this and maybe they're getting into lifting or they're like we were getting into this 14 to 20, let's say, and they're looking at you, they're very impressed. What is your next actionable step for these people coming from this interview? What's your advice to those people?
I guess just get started. Just get started. Ask questions. People in the gym. That helps out a lot.
hmm
Don't be scared to ask. Right now, well, the internet, you can just Google anything.
Sure.
Find somebody that you idolize and just be able to critique yourself and be like, hey, I need to work on this. I need to work on that. And just go from there and just take it easy with the weights. I know a lot of people like to load up on the
Yeah.
weights. The way to come, because I remember that happened to me one time. I tried to see my friends doing 135. I tried to put it on the bar and it dropped on me.
Yeah.
And I learned my lesson from there. But it was motivation to get to 135 when I was
Sure.
14.
Yeah,
But,
that actually
just
exactly
be
happened to me.
consistent. That's my main thing. Just be consistent for those younger guys getting in there, and it'll come eventually. I know everybody want that rush
Yeah.
order of gains.
Right. So basically, get started and be patient.
Yeah,
Great.
exactly.
All right. Well, thank you so much for talking, Kevin.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that interview with Kevin Brown today. Hopefully you could glean a little bit from his journey and the lessons that he's learned over the years. If you want to see more videos, please subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and comment down below. And if you like the charity that we're donating to today, please feel free to make your own donation.